Wow, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
My
you,
good
Tenny. Yeah. Hi, my name is Bio Arimoro, and with me today is
Arimoro that I can finally see.
Yeah. And thank you for joining us for another episode of Love and Everything in Between. So today we'll be talking about deal breakers in relationships, in marriage. What is your deal breaker? What is our deal breaker?
Let's just start from the top. Like every person that goes into a relationship has something that
is a no.
That's a big no for them. And once it happens, they'll be willing to walk away from the relationship for.
Yeah.
So I think it varies from person to person. I don't think there's a one size fits all, but I think there's some things that are general that cut across
board for everyone.
Okay. You know, so
so I think when I was much younger, I actually thought cheating was a deal breaker. But I think over time, why you smile? If you cheat,
you're just saying cheating.
When I was much younger, yes, I did actually think cheating was going to be a huge deal breaker. It was a certain no for me. Like, if you could cheat on me, then there's no point of us being together. But I think over the years, I've come to realize that life is not so black and white. There's a bit of gray, and there's room for forgiveness if the said party has changed, or depending on the circumstance in which it happened. Yes. So I think I'm a bit more flexible with that. So cheating is no longer a deal breaker for me.
For the record, I have not cheated. Let's not go up. Oh, she changed her mind. Cheating is no longer a deal breaker because he cheated. I know.
No, he hasn't cheated. Yeah,
so that nobody will come for me.
You'll not come for you. You have not cheated yet. No, so what's your deal breaker?
Cheating is actually a deal breaker for me, ironically.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
So generally, in general relationships, cheating, I don't see cheating as a deal breaker across board, but with you in particular.
Why me in particular?
Cheating is a deal breaker. Because, and we will talk about this on another episode. There are things that we have been through. You understand? And we went through those things because, you know, we had some challenges in the other room.
Okay.
You get. So, and sex is not like a really high priority for you like that.
Yeah.
So in my head, if you cheat, it means to me that is more than sex.
Okay.
So therefore, if you cheat, I know that
it wasn't a sexual thing.
It's a hand. Do you understand?
So it was a mind thing.
You start to go funny. So
what if the person just?
It's over, baby.
No, but you know, we said
no, it's over.
You said that you always meet someone that is more interesting. Yes. What if the person interests me?
So before
make my mind interesting.
Before the person that's what I'm really interesting together. Me, it's not gonna work.
Okay, so I want to try out to the crew. Is cheating a deal breaker for you?
Let's ask the crew.
Big time.
Big time. Toke says it's big time.
Nope.
Ugochi says it's nope. Chucky, is cheating a deal breaker for you?
You're not sure.
Chucky doesn't really matter. Everybody be alright, Jerry.
So it's cheating a deal breaker for you? Yes.
I only said yes.
Yes. So listen to this.
Chucky's cheating now.
Wow.
Lights on?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
It's a big one. Okay, so yeah, some people.
So quite a lot of people
think cheating is a deal breaker.
But then again, you have all these couples that do all these open
marriages.
But you know the weird thing. So you have couples in open marriages. You have couples who swing.
Yeah.
But if you like swing without the other person, they consider it cheating.
But if we're already swinging.
No, but that's the thing, because it's not. That's what
Okay, so is it the fact that they're doing it together? They swing together.
Yes, so it's not really about the act. Don't worry, we don't endorse swinging or if that floats your boat.
I still don't get open marriages.
But we don't endorse that. We don't really think it's cool. But everybody knows how he's doing them. But I think it's more about the trust thing. It's just about breaking the trust. Because I feel if you are going to do something, you should just be upfront about it.
So if I'm going to, so are you saying, for example, if I'm going to just come and say, "Oh, Rogba, I'm going to cheat"?
No, not that. So here's what has worked for me so far, and I think it has really helped, and I think it'll help people. It's about openness. So if I find that I start getting attracted to someone else, I'll come and tell you.
Yeah.
And I do that not because it's easy for me to just walk up to you to make you feel weird or anything. It's just I understand that when something is hidden,
you tend to fester.
Yes, it festers, and then you focus a lot more on it. You obsess over it, and then it's easier for you to get away with, or it's easier for you to fall into. But once it's out there in the open, then it's not because I feel like things like cheating thrive in secrecy.
Yeah.
Nobody
knows the edge.
Yeah, so that's the edge. But once that's gone, then
it loses
its power.
Okay.
You get, aside cheating, there are so many other things that could possibly be
deal breakers
in a marriage. And for me, for example, aside the cheating, I think I'm trying to articulate this. Taking decisions without my input, without consulting me. Taking major decisions. I mean, it's not about what you want to drink or what you want to eat or what.
So, like maybe relocating.
Yes, like if you want to relocate, we have this opportunity to relocate, and then you just decide, you have an opportunity, and then you just decide to take it without talking to me about it. That's a problem for me.
That would end the marriage.
Most likely.
Are you serious?
Yes.
But that seems like...
It sounds like such a minor thing.
Yeah,
but it's a big deal for me.
No, so okay, the person made a decision, or
you can't make. I'm not saying you have to ask my permission, or I have to give you my blessing or whatever. But we need to have a conversation about it, and we need to align on how it's going to work. But if you just say, "Oh, man, so I got this opportunity," I'm out.
Oh, okay, definitely.
That's a huge thing for me. I'm just because I feel like we're a partnership. We're in a partnership, and it only works if both
parties are on the same page.
Yes. And once we're not on the same page, then there's no point.
Okay, so I think my deal breaker would be if I have to doubt. If there's a bit of doubt in the trust I have for the person, or the trust the person is giving to me. So I think it still ties down to cheating kind of. Yeah. So I'm not really sure what my deal breaker.
So the thing is, if someone cheats on you, they've broken trust. But I mean, okay, but then
because you can build trust again,
and then they can always come and just confess.
So I think for me it would be if I was taken for a fool.
Okay.
Yes, because I know the countless times when in the beginning of our relationship I had like guards, I had like walls around my name. Over the years you're always telling me, "Oh, trust me, trust me, this, trust me," and then for every time you say trust me, one brick was going up, and then I think was it our 10th anniversary that you asked me, like, what if you find out that
I've just been murdering you?
And
I've just been scooping.
My brain is going to first explode. I'm like, so it won't be the act at that point. It would be more like I was a fool. I fell for it. Like, I protected myself, and I had my sanctuary that men will be men. Things are gonna happen. So I was kind of preparing myself for it. And then what will pay me the most is that. So all those lies.
You are gawking.
I gawked it. When I was guarded. And I let my guard down, and then came and stabbed me.
So do you have any specific situation like that you can think of?
That
as in trust-wise, okay. So for example, you find I tell you, we actually don't have any money. I'm just, we're just getting by and everything. Then you just find out that I have one secret account. It's millions of dollars in it.
Oh, you're dead.
And I've just been scoping it.
You're dead. And when I find out you are going to sign, you will sign everything. I will collect my share.
I don't understand.
I will collect my share.
But the deal has been broken.
No, you can't escape that easily.
So you say there's no deal breaker.
Yeah.
But at certain times in our relationship, you've actually like wanted to leave, or you actually tried to leave.
Yeah.
So what happened then? Why? What were the things that were deal breakers then for you?
So the one that comes to mind majorly was I think one time we had we kind of had something happened at home with your mom, and I was trying to talk to you about it, and you were like, oh, I played the victim, blah blah blah, that if I was not interested, I was free to leave. And then as you walked out the door, I brought my suitcase down and I was packing myself because like, I don't know what else you want me to do. I'm not a victim. I'm in my house and I'm uncomfortable. I'm trying to explain something to you, but you were not hearing me out. So I just felt at that point that there was no I don't want to say trust, because we trusted each other, but I just felt like you were not understanding where I was coming from, and it was a really big, because it was either me or your mom. That was how it felt. So I felt like, okay, you know what, this isn't working. If you say I'm a victim, I'm playing the victim card, this person is just trying to help me, they are not listening to me. So maybe if I get out of the picture, you might listen, because I felt like that was a drastic enough decision.
That was an issue. Do you feel like a third party being a part of the marriage is a deal breaker? Because if you think about it, I mean, in that situation it was my mom, but then there's friends, there's other family members, and then, I mean, there's also second wife,
Second what?
Second wife.
That's where.
So are you sure that's not a deal breaker as well?
Second wife is a deal breaker. Cannot bring second wife home. No, I'm sorry. It's a deal breaker.
Okay.
Yes.
I also feel like third parties in our marriage is a deal breaker.
Yes.
Personally.
Okay.
After we got married, we had a lot of third parties.
Yes.
You get you've mentioned the situation, my mom and all that, but I've also been in situations where I'm a very this is my space. This is my space kind of person. Everybody else can revolve around it, but don't come into my space. But we've had situations where family members have had to come from my side, your side, and all that. And that has really bothered me. But I find that it's not a deal breaker anymore. I mean, it was something that I would have considered was a deal breaker. But it's not a deal breaker anymore because I have figured out a system, and the system has worked so far. So you know that thing that we do when we say, okay, if I have an issue with your mom, your dad, your sister, your cousin, whatever, I won't speak to them about it. I'll speak to you about it, because you understand them.
Yeah.
And you will know how to pass
best to handle it. Yeah.
And then I do the same thing
on your side.
And that has worked so far. So would you say that that is a formula for solving all third party problems?
It would be wise, yes, I would agree, because for me, I know my mom. I know when she uses certain words that you might not,
that might trigger me,
that might trigger you. I know what she means, but you might not know what she means. So if you come to me and say, oh, your mom said this, I automatically already know what the message she was probably trying to pass across, but you might have read it in a different way. So if you complain to me, I know how to tell her that, oh, mommy, no, words like this won't work. You can't do this. Or please, for next time. So she won't be offended if it's coming from me, because I would know how to tell her, or tell her that, there will be peace, so that nobody's offended or thinking that, so your husband doesn't, so all of that won't happen. Same way I would tell you. But most times I find that, or in the course of the early parts of our marriage, I found out that I wasn't communicating to you properly. So I ended up communicating with your sister.
Okay.
Because if I'm trying to tell you that, oh, this is what's happening, and you're not hearing me, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to talk to somebody that might not get it, but your sister knows your mom. So I found that I was able to confide in her and tell her that, oh, this and this happened, and she'll be like, Bio, don't worry, I'll sort it. So it ended up she was mainly the one always talking to her as opposed to you.
Okay, so that's a third party that.
Yeah, that was the third party that worked for me at the time, and then over time, obviously, we've gotten older, matured, and then I now know how to pass the message to you to be able to handle it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, I think we don't really have that many deal breakers, do we?
You still want second wife?
Yes. So when you're old and grey, I won't stress you with my needs. Just
you won't be old and grey that time. It's only me that is old and grey.
Old and grey, but still they go. So I'll just have one small.
Bring her first. Let me see.
Just be helping me to.
Bring her.
Let's be putting ointment on my joints to make sure that they don't creak. What else could be? Bad sex. Is that a deal breaker?
Well, not for me.
Let's get your opinion. We have somebody in the building that believes that bad sex is a deal breaker. So why do you think bad sex is a deal breaker?
You can answer.
Yes, you get it's the word bad sex.
So bad sex is apparently a deal breaker.
There's no sex, it's different.
For bad sex, exactly.
Okay, so no sex.
No sex.
It's not a deal breaker for bad sex.
No sex is not a deal breaker.
Okay, so
but bad sex is a deal breaker.
So bad sex.
So what quantifies as bad sex?
Bad sex is sex that you do not enjoy.
Okay.
Or where the other person is selfish. They
so
just
selfish in the sense they think about themselves, their own orgasm and stuff.
Yes, and once they are satisfied, you'll be alright.
So outside of trust, cheating, bad sex, third party. Okay, so what else do you think, or do you consider it's a deal breaker in a relationship?
I'm going to say I want to say children, but I really don't. I'm trying to figure out how to frame that. So, for example, like in our situation where I didn't want kids, and I wanted children, and then you wanted kids.
Yeah.
There was a point where it became a real sticking point for me and was like a serious tension point. But we got through that. So
how? As in you, because I know you keep saying we ambushed you, but how did you really get through that?
I bent.
Okay, you bent, and you were happy that you bent.
Like man.
No, you were happy that you bent over. Okay, not over. Now you're happy that you bent. Okay,
that's.
But would it really have been something that might not have made us?
So I'm just trying to think. If, for example, you're a woman that wanted to pursue your career, like that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to keep your figure, and you didn't want children, and I kept forcing children upon you. What do you think would have happened? Like, no, I must have. What's that thing that they say? I must have legacy to carry on my name.
Which is the work? Which is
the child now?
Okay, the child.
And you don't want.
Okay, and I don't want. Might have been a deal breaker.
Because I think I
might have been, because if I was very career driven, it might have been a deal breaker.
Deal breaker for you. You get.
But I wanted kids. Sorry.
Yeah. I tried to stand for the men, but
it didn't work.
Eventually, it won.
Okay. So
I think in terms of having children as well, I find that there's a lot of that's a whole other topic, but there's a lot of people not being able to have children, and then I'm talking about somebody wants children, somebody doesn't want children. Well, both parties want children, but they're not able to have children, and then it takes its toll. I've personally never really been able to understand that thing, maybe because with my mindset is
of not even wanting kids.
If you don't have kids,
it's fine.
It's what it is. If you have kids, it's what it is. But so many marriages are on the rocks because maybe the woman can't have children, or the man is shooting blanks, or is infertile, or whatever it's.
And so why not adopt or have?
So that is where I'm always confused, because I feel like there's so many options open to couples
to us right now.
You can adopt. You can get a surrogate.
But surrogate is expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
Surrogacy is expensive.
That's a fact. But But IVF is also expensive. So by the time you do IVF like 3-4 times, the same amount of money you might have been able to pay for a surrogate. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I just, maybe personally, I just can't really wrap my head around that. I feel like if you get married, you're getting married to a person.
Yes.
You get, I'm not getting married to the person because they can have children or they cannot have children.
Yeah.
I'm not getting married to the person because they have money or they don't have money. It's for richer or poorer, sickness, health, good times, bad times.
So this
You get, so
quantify it as a bad time.
so if the bad times come, then you handle it together, as opposed to, oh, the bad time has come, it's your fault, or we start tearing at each other, we become enemies, we're fighting over these things. And probably it's a function of people not taking the time before they get married to address these issues. Remember this, my famous list.
Yes.
See how it's helping now. My famous list.
Okay, so should people add fertility on this list? So because most times, because you tend to see where a man and a woman, so women take it upon themselves to think that they are always the issue.
And most of the time
might not be,
it has nothing to
because
do.
if they even find out, so I think that also brings it to where we have a lot of people now saying they want to do DNA tests on kids, because women find out that I think I'm the problem. If this man is the problem, we can't bring it out to say he's the problem, so they end up going to someone else to get them pregnant. It happens.
I think DNA testing.
No, DNA testing.
Because the woman wants to go and play away match.
No, because they
and try
match.
to pass off.
No,
it's not about them going to go with third person.
Sometimes.
Because if the guy knows, like,
they might not know. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know.
And because you want to do it without his consent.
No. Okay, no, so do they? Yes, they did without the consent. But what I'm saying is that so they also also prove if they had fertility issues.
Why can't the guy to go and prove outside?
So they should be more open, which is why I'm saying that let us add fertility to the list.
I agree they should add fertility, but this your angle on the fertility. No. No,
because sometimes
you cannot go and play in a match and come and be bringing child and then be scooping me.
That, no, they're not scooping you.
See, that's a deal breaker. If
I'm fertile,
I don't know. In fact, I'm doing DNA test after this episode. What do you mean? What do you mean?
God forbid. You now find out that your kids are not your kids. What are you going to do?
Fresh start.
Fresh starts to where?
So
are you saying
I will take my children.
Oh, now they will be your children.
Yes, no, because
they're not yours.
No, I've raised them.
You've what?
I've raised them.
So you not take them from the mother.
They are going with me.
So where?
That's the price you will have to pay.
That's what. Did you carry them for 9 months?
No, but after the 9 months,
I don't understand. We both did it. So it's divorce. Is divorce. So
packing my load.
So where?
What do you mean with?
No, remember at the beginning of the marriage, you used to tell me that divorce is not an option.
That was at the beginning of the marriage. I've matured. I've gone through the journey of life.
Okay.
I'm older and wiser.
So divorce is an option now.
My sister is an option.
Why? Based on what?
Because so here's the thing. I don't think marriage is no, I have to phrase this properly so that So marriage is a do. It's not, yes,
do and live.
Do and live. It's not marriage is not a do or die. It's not. It's honestly anything that's going to harm you. So physically,
violence, domestic violence.
Domestic violence is a no. Somebody's between pack your load. Like I know it's hard. Thinking about how people are going to
what are people going to say?
How you're going to start over. Yeah. It's better that you're alive than dead. So domestic violence for me is a no. Pack your load, leave. Also, I think some people are in situations where they're not being physically assaulted, but emotionally, constant emotional and mental abuse.
Yeah.
And you are there. It's demeaning you. People are going into depression.
Self-esteem.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I mean, you have one life. There's no do-overs.
Yeah.
Live your life. You need to live
it to the fullest.
Yes, you need to live your life to the fullest. And if somebody is standing in the way of that, I think it's better for you to just leave. So, do you believe in first?
If it's necessary, like if you become physically abusive to me, yes, I would divorce. But I don't think divorce has to be
acrimonious.
Yes,
I agree with that.
It has to be. I think it has to be amicable because for me, I feel like I have kids involved.
Okay.
So initially, I was the person that would say, if we divorce, I'm taking my kids. My kids are mine. We had a conversation, and I said, if we divorce, we take turns.
That's fine.
My whole life is not going to be on hold because, No, I'm just saying as in, because I feel like divorces I've heard about,
they're just always...
it's been very messy. And I feel it doesn't have to get to that. there are people, there are children involved. You want to set examples. You want to be able to still co-parent. And I came across something recently that encouraged me, where the son was someone who was like, oh, my dad came to mow his ex-wife's lawn because her own husband was out of town, and that most times they actually have dinners. And I was like, oh, it would be nice if we can start embodying that kind of.
I think people just need to chill.
But
Honestly,
I think it also depends on how the divorce happened or what caused it.
Whatever it is that caused it.
Because it's easy to see until you're in this situation.
I understand. So maybe when I'm in this situation, I will not chill. But in my head, the way that I process things, and most likely, it is we have agreed to be apart. We are not doing it
again.
No problem. That's fine. How are we going to make that work?
So because everybody involved.
Yeah, no matter how you look at it, you are still partners of some sort, especially if you have kids.
Yeah.
And the people who suffer the most in divorces are the kids.
Yeah.
Because they are bereft of the security that they know. The world as they understand it has been torn apart. And then you're expecting them to just be cool with it. It doesn't work that way. Do you understand? So I just feel like there's nothing wrong with divorce if it's absolutely necessary. But just, you guys be civil, be mature about it. That's really what it's about. Just be mature.
Okay.
And, that will be fine. So, yeah, I think marriage is always about both parties. Nobody should feel cheated, and no one should feel like
they were put under
pressure to because a gun was held to my head to make this decision. Yeah. So I think that just settles that for me.
Okay.
Personally, So, guys, I hope
you were able to pick up some points and learn from our own experiences and what we've shared. Please don't forget to like, comment, send us any questions that you feel that we didn't address, or topics that you feel like you would want to hear our views on.
And even if you don't agree with us,
just let us know. So until the next episode of Love and Everything in Between, we'll catch you guys later. Bye. Hi, welcome to another challenge, and Rogba is going to walk us through what we're supposed to do and expected to do today.
What we're going to do today is we need to blow these balloons and use the air from the balloons to knock off as many cups as we can from this table without touching the cups. And we're going to be doing this one simultaneously.
Yes.
So that there's these editors and all these camera people will not go and cheat.
Why would they cheat?
I don't know.
All right, so in 3, 2, 1, go.
This is not going to fall down. This cup is... Why did you...
It's so hard. It's hard. I'm done.
Which idiot put this thing here? They put this thing here so that my cup will not fall down. Can you imagine? I saw it. Let's go.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
One already. So cheats.
Whatever.
So Bio and Noella, I'm calling her out by name. Yeah, she's over there. Try to cheat
Oh no,
and
no,
make sure.
excuse me.
But you elbow him.
That's competition. That's competition. Excuse me.
Okay.
What did I say? The
Noella's cheating and Bio's competition. Regardless, I still won.
truth? Damn it!
See you again next
I
time.
need to win the next challenge.
Don't worry.
I'm done.
Don't worry. You may.
Bye.
Bye. No smoothing here, Yini now.
To tone now.
No. I have to smooth it. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
I have to smooth in the hair.
Action.
okay, so
So Bill, you have not answered the question.
I said I don't really know my deal breaker. I've said it and I said
Frankly,
trust.
Kenan beats me now.
Because you are not hearing me.
Are you too invested in this relationship to think of like
Of getting rid of it.
No.
And so let's explore that.
Okay.
Let's explore that.
So who's asking the
So
question?
are you so
So why are you always having these arguments about
because I have beliefs.
beliefs that what?
I have beliefs, and until superior arguments disprove my beliefs.
Can't it change?
But that's what I'm saying, superior arguments. So I need to hear something that disproves what I believe. One of the things that we have found that is really important in relationships is decision making and
Who chooses to do what?
Yes. In that relationship. And in our experience, we find that it's something that can actually make or mar a relationship. So today we want to dive into that and explore it. So welcome to another episode of
Love and everything in between.
So before we start the topic and discussion, I think it's important that we let them understand how it works in our home.
Okay.
You know, so as you know, I'm the sheriff. You know, I lay down the law and you follow it. Everybody just toes the line. Nobody falls out of line, you know. That's the best way, you know, it just works for everybody.
Whatever makes you sleep at night. I don't know who's boss here.
Okay, no, but seriously, early on in our relationship, we sat down and had a
This
conversation
very long list.
about this list.
This
Right?
list.
We had
Don't let me drink water.
Yes, we had a conversation after my list about who was going to be doing what and how decisions were going to be taken in our relationship, and I think it has really helped us.
Yeah, it has. It actually has. Yes, it has, because there's no crossing of lines. There's no, I feel some certain kind of way that this person is doing or just making decisions more than me. I know where the line is drawn. I know, like, I kind of know what has been put in place has worked to a large extent has worked. So it has kind of minimized frictions and all of that. But wherever anything in between,
is there any bloodlines?
Bloodlines came up, we knew how to talk about it, because we had also set the example of when there are blurry lines, how do we communicate and address them. So yes, that has actually helped.
Yeah, and I feel like for everyone, there always needs to be like a point of reference. So it could be, I don't know, it could be a person for some people. For some other people, it could be, I don't know, like what we have, which is a list, a checklist, and some sort of Bible, you know, that just points us in that direction, depending on what it is that we want to talk about. Some things are pretty clear for us. So, you know how you have couples where, you know, the woman is the one who's always cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids. I mean, if you're in a relationship where the gender roles are sort of traditional and the decision making process is traditional, if it works for you, hey, go ahead. And when I say it works for you, I don't mean one party, I mean both of you. If it works for both of you, you're both in agreement with that. I mean, it's great. If it floats your boat, carry go. But there are also some other relationships where these things are not clearly defined. And once they're not clearly defined, they
becomes an issue,
issues.
Because you keep having that friction where you feel slighted or you feel like, oh, I'm not being heard or I'm being taken advantage of, that kind of thing. So it would come up if you're both not in agreement. So it's very important that you pick a plan and stick to it and be in agreement with whatever decision has to be made at that point in time.
So in our household, I mean, it's not traditional in the conventional sense because I don't make decisions without you.
Yeah.
And you don't make decisions without
you.
me.
Yeah.
We always have to agree on any major decision that's going to be taken.
And it's going to affect everyone.
Yeah. So for example, I mean, when the children were going to start school, what school they were going to go to.
Oh, I remember one where you wanted to change Tenny from a certain preschool, and I wasn't quite in agreement with it. And then you kept insisting that you're going to change the school, and I said, "Oh yes, no problem." And then when it was like close to resumption, I just quietly came with comparison of bills. And you're like, you want him to continue this school. Yeah, so I know that sometimes it might not be the conventional way of we talk about it. Women will always find a way to pass messages across. Sometimes it might seem a bit manipulative. It wasn't like I was manipulating you in any way. I mean, like, I stated because you're a facts guy. So I brought my facts. I presented my facts in a very calm.
And the facts
spoke for itself, and I won. Kind of, yes.
Do you think that there's any era in our marriage that, the gender roles are sort of like traditional and so how do you think that has affected us so far? Like,
okay, not like it has affected us. I just know that your wife has to prepare food for you.
No.
Because you don't like to eat outside.
No. That's not why.
Okay, why?
So that's like one of two that I share today.
Why?
So, my wife likes soft life.
Who doesn't?
No, my wife likes soft life. So, my wife has things that she, we started out and agreed on in this checklist that this person is going to do this. So, one of those things was because I know that I would not like to eat outside. My wife has to make my food.
Yes.
It was an agreement. And so, in fact, I don't understand why a wife would not give her husband food. Yeah, you did. You are married. You are prayed.
No.
Then along the line, I just wakes up one morning and says, "Oh, can I just get a cook? I just want to cook." I'm like, I don't want to cook. Of course not. Because and this is my rationale. If every single thing
is being taken care of,
if I'm paying for every single thing in my life, then of what use are you? I'm just wondering.
No.
Yes. No. If I was abdicating some of my responsibilities that we had already agreed on.
Robert,
at the beginning.
Wait, so it's just I can't pinpoint which.
You cannot.
Because
I'm filling my roles, as we said.
I'm also filling my roles.
You said.
I make sure you eat.
You said, for example.
You're satisfied.
You said, for example.
I'm a listener.
I don't want to listen. I don't want to be listening to me if it's that one.
People will not understand. She'll understand you clinically. I understand you emotionally. I understand you wholly. Like holistically.
That's not the agreement.
What's not the agreement?
The agreement.
When did I break?
The agreement was that you will make me food. Now, I'm not a particular eater. I'm not one of those guys that's going to say, "Oh, you need to make vegetable for me fresh every week."
Oh, JB.
I cannot. You understand? I'm not.
Oh, JB, you want to beat fresh every day?
I just feel like like some things, should just be
like
done.
what are the things?
We just mentioned cooking. I don't know why.
But I cook. I just don't cook the mede you like again because of time. I'm busier now. Like my career is kicked off. Yeah.
Okay.
So what else?
Okay. Just know that we agreed on a cooking thing, and it's not happening. No,
It's not happening.
people are scoping me.
It's not happening. You sure didn't get me the cook.
Not get you.
Now, so
No
I'm
cooks.
putting my end of the bargain.
No cooks.
Oh, yeah. So what else? What else?
Reluctantly.
No, it's not reluctantly. Trust me. It's just that I cannot make mende like before.
Whatever.
So what else?
No, it's not say I'm not trying to nitpick on things.
No, I'm just saying what else? Like what else are
No, but every other thing that we agreed on, I mean, I think we've been able to
streamline?
shift around them now. So, for example, when we agreed on, someone has to stay home with the kids,
Okay.
or someone has to take. When we had our first kid, Tenny, and we said one person is
One
going
parent has to be
parent has
available.
to be available for him. I was willing to do it for the first year because that's what we agreed.
Yeah.
We sat down, we had a conversation, said, okay, this schedules look like this, so you're going to have to be responsible for him
At a
completely,
certain point in time.
all that, and
Yeah.
and it wasn't an issue. And then when the roles were reversed, it was fine.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really just about what works for you as a couple.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily believe that the man always has to be the provider.
Okay. I
And
kind of agree.
because we've had scenarios in our relationship
Marriage.
where you were the one that
So
was
providing. Yeah.
as in solely
Yeah.
because of the way things were with me, and you didn't have any issues
No,
with that.
not
And
at all.
I just feel like
So I feel it's a joint
effort.
venture.
Yeah,
It's
so
not
whoever's doing the most, whoever's
time.
doing the best is what I want to say.
Okay.
At the time, pick up the bills. Like, it's your family.
Yeah. And it's beneficial to both of you.
Yeah, so there's no. I cringe when I hear women say things like, it's the husband's responsibility to pay for the school fees. If he doesn't pay for the school fees, like, that's just totally ridiculous. It's the husband's responsibility.
No,
to
so
pay for
but you see,
and I mean, it's that's all well and good if
Mm-hmm.
the man is like, he's making the most and you're not making anything. But I don't understand how, as a human being, forget about male female roles, you're in this partnership and you don't feel like you need to contribute.
no. So you see, the thing is, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying because I believe in that. But sometimes you hear situations where now I really didn't want to try to do gender specific, but
No, but I mean,
so like
give an example.
Okay, an example of like if the woman is solely providing and she's doing it continuously, and then the guys now feel like there's no drive or need to push themselves career wise because they just because you have some people that are like I don't want to use an offensive word like bluffers.
No, sorry.
No, there are some people.
That's an irresponsible person.
Yes, but there are situations like that. There are situations like that it happens where maybe the woman feels, okay, we're in a union. I want to support my husband. I want to cover his shame. I don't want people to know what's going on or who's paying the bills or whatever. They come up, they step up because they're probably doing very well career-wise. And then before you know it, 3, 4, 5 years, he's not changing. He's not stepping up. You don't see, because it's only encouraging when you know that your husband or your partner is just going through a phase and you can see they're actually making an effort.
Yes.
So it encourages you. But if continuously that partner is not even doing anything, it becomes like you're being taken for granted. And there are human beings like that just take advantage of good women.
And so unfortunately, sorry, but my opinion, you married wrong already. Like, you already made a big mistake.
So would you say the person should just give everything?
No, I'm not even talking about whether they should give up or not. I mean, first of all, I think that is my own baseline. I don't see how, as a human being, you're in something and you're not contributing to it in any tangible way. No, like, check this. If it's a case of the guy is hustling, things are just not clicking.
Clicking.
And it happens, it's life.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through a bad patch, and nobody really determines how long that bad patch will last. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's understandable. But if you're sitting at home and you're lounging, and then your wife is going out there and she's
working
hard, She comes home. I mean, your contribution might not even be financial.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Of the
Of
whole
kids, yeah.
in such a way that
The
she
person
doesn't-
feels that love.
Yes, there are always things to do in a relationship. There are always things to do when
I think that's what I was trying to
shows-
clarify, that
So
even
that's
if
it.
things are not working out, because like you said rightfully, nobody knows how long a dry
Nobody
patch
knows.
would last.
Well, but just don't be irresponsible. It's ridiculous. Why would you just sit at home and want to? I can't fathom being spoon-fed.
Okay.
I joke a lot about wanting to be a stay-at-home dad or wanting to be a house husband. House husband does not mean I'm going to sit on my
Behind.
and just be drinking all day or watching TV all day or lounging. That's not what I even mean. It's just that now I can take off time and pursue passions and
That you
everything.
wanna do.
But I will also have to contribute in some other way if I'm not contributing financially. If you look at the traditional gender role, right, the way it is,
Yeah.
a man goes off to work and goes to bring
Brings home the bacon.
but the woman is supposed to keep the home.
Yeah.
So keep it tidy, make sure that
The
the food is on the table, the kids are well and taken care of and all that. So if that role is reversed, then the man should do it. You get at least show that I appreciate the fact that my wife is the one that is doing all
doing
this.
everything.
And then handle it. There's no shame in changing diapers. There's no shame in cooking food. It's just totally ridiculous to me. I understand the fact that, there's a patriarchy and it exists almost everywhere.
Everywhere,
And
yeah.
especially in Africa.
Yeah.
You have these rules. But more and more, things are beginning to even out. More women are working. More women are successful.
I remember someone saying that the thing now is like women are catching up with men. In a sense, like women are bringing stuff to the table as much as men are now.
See, the thing is, like, both of you are coming. What are you bringing to the table? I heard that recently with a couple of people who wanted to get married, and I was like, okay, what am I bringing to the table?
What are you bringing to the table?
We both need to be assets to each other.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be a
Liability to anyone, yeah.
Understand? So anybody that sits down wants to be a liability, whether you're male, whether you're
Female,
it
it's
just
not,
doesn't
say
make
no,
any sense.
Say no.
If a man feels that a woman's role in his life is to cook, to clean, to have babies, that's what he believes, and that's fine for him. But I believe he should find someone who shares those
The
same
same
values.
values, yeah.
Don't marry someone who's a career woman and then
Expect her
you
to now
her
change.
drop everything and then automatically become your mom.
Yeah.
Whether it is that
You're
you
trying
feel
to bring
trying to
into-
move her into. If you met her and she's
A career person, then let
I
her
understand that. And as a woman, I think you should also look out for the red flags.
Yeah.
Sometimes
If you just share the same values.
a guy is treating you one way and you assume that that's who he is. No, watch how he treats everyone else. Watch how he treats the other women in his life. Watch how he treats his sisters. Watch how he treats
His mom.
Watch how he treats his female co-workers. It gives you a sense, because he might be nice to you and be pretending to be.
So he gets, maybe they get
And then you get into the marriage. For men, it's a chase.
Yeah.
I chase you, I conquer, I carry you, I'm my trophy, and I keep you in the house. And then I now get, you understand? And I'm now, you're the trophy wife. I'm keeping you
Just
in
keep
the
your
house.
home, and it doesn't make sense.
People just admit who they are and marry according to what works for them, the same values.
There'll be more marriages that are lasting, yeah.
There are women who do not want wahala. They just want to relax and be taken care of. Nothing wrong with that.
I want to be.
Yeah, I would keep quiet in fact.
So to share the same values as I do.
Yeah, I want soft life as well.
We both want soft life.
We should always go to do the work if we're both soft lifing. For me, it's a question of agreement. Who is doing what?
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with mechanics. It's traditionally a male role.
Yeah.
Dealing with bricklayer is traditionally a male role. But I remember when we were building.
Oh yeah, I was one
You
handling.
are the one dealing with all those people, the bricklayers. That's a traditional male role.
Yeah.
But because at that point I knew that she will handle it better than I would. Do you understand? So have at it.
Yeah.
Do you get? I don't think there's a one size fits all. I think people need to stop trying
Stereotyping.
to make it a one size fits all for
Everybody.
We're both Christians, right?
Yeah.
And we hold our Christian values very dearly. But I think a lot of times in religion, and I don't mean just Christianity, I mean religion.
Across board.
Because the religions were imported from patriarchal societies, it ends up seeming like Christianity just sort of like
It's dogmatic.
it beats women down and just says, oh, your place is here, your place is here. So I mean, we have an understanding of certain things. So the man is the head of the home, for example. It can be controversial for hardcore religious people, or traditional people.
Yeah.
Man is the head of the home.
Final. His word is final.
He sits above
Everybody.
and she sits beneath, which doesn't
It works for some people.
Yeah, but I mean, if it works for you, fine. But it doesn't really make sense, because I will always go back if when we do the religious thing to God made man and woman. Even before he actually molded Adam, it said he made them male and female. He made them. He didn't say male and then female. He said male
and female.
So men and women have their unique roles, right? Yes, the man is the head of the home. Okay, fine. No problem. But I think men need to understand that being the head of the home is more about responsibility and authority.
Okay.
Do you understand? So if I'm the head of the home, it means the onus is on me to lead properly.
Yeah.
The onus is on me to make sure that things are in place. It is not because I'm the head of the home, I should now do it over every single person. Therefore, you must bow to me and worship me. And
not worship, but
you hear my point. Some people, it gets to that point. I was reading a joke about a lady who said while she was doing NYSC, she had some male friends over and she had killed a chicken for them to eat or something, and that she ate the gizzard. And one of her male friends lost it.
Why?
Because apparently in his home, and I don't know if it's a tribe thing or cultural thing, I don't know, but in his home, the gizzard is left for the man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is left.
Would have not survived in my house.
It's a special part,
yeah,
and it must be reserved
for the male.
And she was chewing the thing, but the guy was having an aneurysm, and that was his problem. And she put it out there, and you were seeing all sorts of comments, and people were just joking about it. And I read it with amusement, because I was like, a piece of chicken, like.
It's very important.
Yes,
very important in this tribe, please.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Don't
and I think that also comes from a place of
upbringing.
Yes, upbringing
and background.
And that's why it's also important for.
So funny enough, in my house when we're growing up, if my mom makes soup and she puts snails or some particular delicacy, you are not entitled. You are not okay. I won't say entitled. We were not allowed to eat it unless my dad had a piece.
So let me ask you a question.
It used to freak me out because
I want to ask you a question. So is it that you, the children, were not entitled, or his wife also was not entitled?
I don't think she felt she was entitled to eat it.
Because there's a difference there, you understand? If you say, the children are not entitled to something, I can understand that. But if you say your wife is not entitled to
something, it wasn't like he said it, so I wouldn't know if it was like a thing that had been said.
Yeah, and
it was out of respect.
Was she doing it because she felt
something she had probably learnt as well?
Or something she felt, okay, I'm doing something special. It's like how you make something special for me, and everybody in the house knows, okay, don't touch it. It belongs to Rogba. It belongs to Daddy.
But that would be like a steak, or you're saying chicken lap, pies, special place, as in like it's supposedly general. I don't understand. Like, okay, you kill a chicken, there's the drumstick and there's the part, and then everybody knows that you can't touch drumstick because Daddy only eats drumsticks, so I feel like, but there are 4, let me just eat one. Why? Like,
you're a greedy person.
No, I'm not a greedy person. I like soft life.
It's your daddy's soft clap.
Daddy, sorry.
But so, I mean, if it floats the woman's boat, like if it works for her, organ goes.
As long as there's peace in the
Yes, as long as everybody is cool with it. What I just don't like is I don't like oppression. And I don't like oppression under any guise, whether it's religion, whether it's culture, whatever. I just don't like it. I believe we're all human. You understand? As much as going back to the whole religious thing, as much as the Bible says we should women should be submissive to their husbands, right? It also says that the husbands should love their wives as Christ loved the church. And what did he do for the church?
He served.
He died.
He died and he served
down his own
life
on
for the church.
Them. He loved that much.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So you should love your wife to the point of death, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what it means. So I don't think God was going to be dragging chicken lap. It's going to drag me the gizzard with the people. So you eat the gizzard because I'm going to eat the gizzard, or strike all you all with thunder if you eat the gizzard. It just doesn't add up for me. So I think in conclusion, I don't think gender roles are specific. I mean, I do believe a man should be responsible.
Okay.
He should take care of his family. He should defend his family. He should protect them. He should provide for them. That's what I believe. I believe a woman should nurture her children. She should have her husband's back. Do you understand?
Yeah.
She should always be a helpmate to him. I believe those things.
Yeah.
But I also believe that even within those general roles, there's still room for individualism to a large extent.
Okay.
As much as I believe that men are to protect, provide, etc. It's not a one size fits all. It doesn't mean every single man is going to provide and protect in the same measure.
Yeah.
But I believe, and it could be a factor of my upbringing, my belief system, whatever. Doesn't mean I'm 100% right.
Conditioning. That's why you believe that you should provide and she should
nurture.
And that's patriarchy in a nutshell. Why can't you nurture?
That's my point. I nurture. So let me give an example. Because I believe those are the rules. But I still believe it's hard for me to explain this, but it's how it works in my head. I still believe that there's fluidity within those same rules.
That's outside of the individuality.
Yes. So I'm not going to abdicate what I feel is my responsibility to provide for my family. I'm not going to sit at home and say, yeah, my wife should go out and go and provide. But at the same time, yes, in the agreement that I had.
If it's an agreement that you have that, I mean, like it happened in your marriage where at a point she had to be the one providing.
Yes. And I didn't have a problem with it. I had no issue with it whatsoever. But like I said, everybody should go with their kind.
Yeah.
I have my beliefs. My beliefs are not 100% right. Your beliefs are not 100% right. Mm-hmm. We're still figuring this thing out as we go. We don't have all the answers. We don't have the bluept or the formula that is just going to fix everything.
Yeah.
If not, we're learning
along. Yeah.
We're doing trial and error. We've made a lot of mistakes.
And we've learned
from those mistakes, and we're still going. But I still have my core beliefs, and my core beliefs are my core beliefs. But I also understand that your position or belief is only as strong as there is no superior argument. I don't know how to explain that any better.
No superior argument.
Yes, if a superior argument comes along, I hold this belief. I'm not one of those cognitive dissonance people.
Okay,
right?
okay.
I hold this belief.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a long time, I just want to use this example. Maybe it will help. For a long time, I believed in tithing, and I would. The passion and aggression that I used to defend my tithing position was not even here. Juliet, like I remember vividly a horrendous argument I had with my friend, and at the end of it, when I couldn't logically make any headway with him, just so we are going to hell, and I moved on with my life. But when I came to the other side of the divide was when someone was able to break it down to me in a logical way and say, look, this thing that you believe, this, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's it for me. That's the way my brain works. There's a superior argument. Oh, really? I move on with that.
Your theory is kind of like real until it's proved no.
Once my current theory has been proven wrong,
You're open to
I'm open, and I think that's where we need to be as people. Just always be. You can hold a belief, because I mean you need to have your beliefs, but always be open to
listening to
other sides of the argument.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
Yeah. So I think in conclusion, today has been very interesting.
Long.
Yeah. So I think in conclusion, the tips we have for
what we would
advocate would be agreements.
Yes. Always compromise. Every day is compromise.
Compromise agreements. Make an extensive and very detailed list if you can. It's never too late. If you've already been married, now you know the things that you don't like, and you can expressively communicate that across. Make a list. You guys make an agreement, and as per time or years go by, those things might change because it's not cast in stone. Things are changing in our society, in our environment, and we're raising up kids that we also need to set examples for. And I hope, from what we have shared,
don't forget, go with your kind.
Go with your kind.
Very important. Go with your kind.
Who has the same beliefs as you,
and be open
and like-minded, and then be open as well. Be open-minded as well to also accept
other perspectives and
other people's perspective and points of views. And we hope with what we have shared today, we've been able to help anyone out there. And
as usual, if you have questions, comments, anything, we're here for you. Welcome to the next challenge.
You're too excited for my liking.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of ping pong game where
there's water inside.
Yeah, there's water inside the cups, and where I try to drop the ball into the cups, or he drops the ball into a cup, and if I get a cup, you take it out. It makes it harder for the next person.
Yeah.
All right.
And today we have our awesome scorekeeper, the little
Arimoro.
Oh.
What me?
I don't. What I know is you shall drink.
Oh.
My own son.
Oh
no!
It was own goal. It was an own goal. You have to remove it. It was own goal. It's own goal. You have to be careful.
I was trying to hold the ball.
It's not about who she's for. Own goal. Sorry.
Hey, mommy, I'm playing it. Wow, that's what I wanted.
Really?
Oh! You guys are tied.
So now this is the deal breaker.
Making yourself win.
When I say so.
Yes!
One more.
You just got
Defeated.
My own son.
Only one try. You've already had like. The current score is mommy 2, daddy 1.
Really? Check again.
Mommy 1.
Oh.
Mommy has 3. Daddy has 2.
2. Okay.
And scores. Ooh, so close. Come on, daddy. Move the cup. It's cheating.
Let me move the rope.
No, he didn't.
I should move.
These cheaters never win. Yeah.
So Bio finally wins something.
Daddy, you could have moved the cup.
No, I can't remember. No cheating. Bio finally wins something.
in all the games that we have played. This one is for all you ladies out there. She did it for the wives, the sisters, the mothers.
Yeah, you know, I got you. I got you.
So
Yeah.
thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Oh wow. The intro is not hard.
We'll redo the intro. Yeah, this one don't pass. Because my phone was ringing just now, but. But where is it?
Where is it?
Find it.
It's heavily vibrating.
So it's evident.
Once you feel it, it must be
Around you.
Just agree.
Sorry.
Are you? Cough it out.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So, are you good? So if we can just agree